Hi everyone. Let me do a quick sound check. Okay, I can hear myself over here. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to be pretty much doing a live grinder tutorial today. I'll be doing a few more of these resin live tutorials. I don't know when, I don't know, what for exactly. I do know I will be doing a shaker soon because Angel did ask for one, so I will be doing one for her since she requested it. But yeah, I just can't say exactly when I will be coming with these, but when I do come with them, I will be finishing it start to finish. So yeah, I just kind of want to let you guys know what's going on with that. Update on the alcohol. I just went and got a new bottle because I could not find my other bottle. And literally, as soon as I sat down to film, I found the other bottle. It was like sitting in my stuff. So, but we're using this one now because I've put in the work to recreate a new one. All right. So I'm not going to wait too long or anything. I don't know what everyone has going on. I know I didn't prep y'all because it's a surprise. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So you want to make sure that you do put your gloves on, of course, put on your proper protective equipment. I'm going to be using my Aqua Seal Marine Epoxy Resin, 1-to-1 ratio. I have a, what's this called? It's not, I have my measuring cup. I have my molds. I have my mixing sticks. I have a glitter mix that I'll be using. I'm gonna give you a little preview of the glitter mix. This one's so pretty. I'm using that. I'm also going to be using these gold foils here. I have my little glitter scoop over here along with some tweezers. And I also have like a little spoon just in case I do have to end up scooping any like powders or anything like that. But I probably will not be using any powders in this initial step, so no need. All right, so first you just want to make sure that the mold is clean and everything. Make sure there's nothing in there. Get any little pieces out. Push that over to the side and push all this stuff over to the side. I'm going to focus on mixing this resin right quick. All right, so for this first step, I'm going to be making 40 milliliters of resin total. Uh-oh, I meant to go with my hardener first, but oh well. I'm going to put in 20 milliliters of the resin to start out with. Oh, almost went. Got a little too happy. Okay. That's better. Now we're going to add 20 milliliters of our hardener. Just fill that on up to the 40 milliliter line. I'm also making sure that I'm working on a level surface so that way I know for sure that I am mixing the correct amounts. Okay, so once I have that poured up, you just take a next stick. I think we know what to do from here. We're gonna mix it. So you just want to make sure that you mix it in a clockwise motion and a counterclockwise motion. Y'all know the drill. First, we're just going to mix it as is, and then we're going to add some heat and then some alcohol to it and everything. If I sound a little tired and sleepy right now, sorry about that. My back is really hurting me right now, so I don't have like just a whole bunch of energy on top of not being the perkiest person in the world. Yeah. Okay, so I'm scraping at the sides to make sure I get that down and everything. And then I'm going to add heat to it first, just because I feel like it makes it easier. I'm taking my heat gun. And then you can just kind of blow it directly at the cup and everything. It'll heat through the cup. As long as you're using one of these like little plastic measuring cups that come with every resin product ever. Okay, make sure you're twisting the cup a bit so the cup itself doesn't get too hot or warped in one area. It also makes it harder to handle. If you didn't catch my last live, I like doing it this way just because it just helps with the bubbles and everything. It helps to pop the bubbles when the resin is warmer. It also helps to mix the resin and the hardener together more seamlessly and everything. So that way you don't have any issues with stickiness, tackiness, bending, and it just like helps a lot with all of that in my opinion. So that's why I always recommend it. And then when it's still warm, I come in here with the alcohol. And then you just want to spray like 2 or 3 good sprays in there. And then you want to scrape at the sides and make sure you mix this in really, really well. And you kind of want to bring the resin on top to the bottom and vice versa. So kind of like, I don't know if you guys can kind of see me going in a circle, like kind of up and down like this a bit too. If you can see, you can kind of see the striations and everything, like the little lines and stuff. The alcohol, like really, I don't know what it be doing in there, but it don't allow for a lot of faking. That's all I know. So I'm just going to keep stirring that up really, really good, making sure that all the resin and all the hardener in here is mixing and that none of those little lines in there are there anymore. All right, and then once I'm done with that, I'm just going to let it sit for just a little second. Okay, so from here, we can kind of start prepping for the mold. Ooh. Okay, so with the molds, let's see here. This is the one that I'll be using here. It's the typical one that's on Amazon. It's the one that I have linked in my other grinder videos as well, if you've seen those tutorials on my page. What else? I'll try to make sure I remember to link it. But I'm also creating a Amazon storefront where I'm going to just house all my typical like resin stuff that I use. So that way you guys will have it in one place. I'm just getting it edited, so be patient with me. But it is available and it's going to be in my bio very shortly. So yeah, as you can see though, it is really hard to kind of get in here into these little prongs and stuff. I'm going to be showing you guys kind of how to do so effectively, so that way you don't get any of the little holes in there and they don't break when you're using it. First things first, you're gonna want something you can poke with. I recommend a toothpick because they're perfect, they're tiny, and they really get into the little prongs and stuff. All right, so to start, I'm going to take my resin and then I'm just going to kind of pour it into my prongs. I'm going to do this on both sides. All right, so first things first, I want to take my stir stick and kind of push this around, making sure it's kind of covering every surface over here the best I can. I'm going to do the same thing on this side too. It's kind of first introducing the resin over into these little holes and stuff. Push down in there, that is completely fine. Do what you gotta do. You also want it to go over onto the sides as well, because you want to get it into the little crevice where the kind of where this little rim is, where it interlocks at and kind of closes in on itself. And it's really easy for you to get in here with the stir stick as long as you're using like this kind and everything. It's kind of the perfect size to really push that resin in there and make sure it's everywhere. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take that toothpick and I'm gonna go into each and every little prong. I'm gonna push those bubbles out. You want to be in a well-lit area doing this because that's gonna make all the difference in you seeing these bubbles and whether they've actually come out or not. I actually wish I thought to spray my molds with the alcohol first, but it's cool. We'll still be able to get it out just fine this way. As you can see, it's pretty simple. It's really quick and easy to do. I hope you guys can see the steps. I'm going to get a little bit closer with the other side so that way you guys can see what I'm doing just a tad bit better. Okay. So as you can see, I'm going into each prong like this. And I am just making sure I pop each and every bubble and force it to the surface. As you can see, it gets really easy. Once you kind of get a motion of it, I kind of stick it in and kind of twirl it all around in there. And that kind of helps loosen it up and forces it to the surface so that way it can pop. And that's what you want to keep doing. I'm going to pull it back down so that way I can actually see what I'm doing over here and not mess up. Now, you don't want to take too long with this step, just because, you know, you don't want your resin curing on you, especially with the fact that we heated it. That does definitely shorten our working time. So I want to be very transparent about that. But that's also why I'm doing this real time for you guys, because I know my tutorials are very sped up, and I feel like the lives give you an opportunity to really see what's going on, and it offers a bit more help as well. I have the chat open. It's hard for me to see it, but y'all don't really be talking too much anyway. Not in a bad way, but I'm just saying it's easier for me to like kind of focus and everything because y'all aren't super active. But even if you were, I'd just be like kind of answering the questions that I can as I went, um, everything. Okay. I don't know if y'all could hear my mom, but I'm sorry, she loud, child. Run her mouth on the phone. Okay. So I've pretty much gotten all of that out. Let me twirl it around a bit just to be sure. Because this isn't the step that you want to like kind of half-ass and everything. You really want to pay attention to this because this will, you know, the resin, you really don't want these prongs breaking off into whatever you're going to be grinding and everything. So that's just very important. It's a health risk and a health hazard. So that's why I'm very serious about taking my time with this particular part. Okay. So I feel like those are all out now, and that is good. It's wonderful. That's what we need. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and cover this and make sure that this part is completely covered in the resin, but I don't want to fill the molds completely. And I'm going to make sure the same over here too. Just make sure it kind of overflows over onto the sides, and we have a nice even layer going on over here because now we're about to add some stuff on inside and have a little fun. Okay, so get that even, get it even, get it even. You can even get in here with your heat gun a bit if you need to. I don't think I'm gonna need to, so I'm gonna skip that part just because it's kind of hard for me to reach the heat gun while I'm over here and on camera. It's a hot mess because the length of that cord. All right, last minute checks, making sure. All right, looks like we are in the clear. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my foil here. I have some gold foiling that I'm going to use, and I'm going to take this set of tweezers, and we're going to apply this foil right on in to our mold. Now I'm being strategic about where I'm placing this foil to, because I do want it in an area where it's going to cover the center of my mold, because that's where my magnet is going to go, and I'm trying to camouflage that the best I can just for, you know, aesthetics. Y'all know I'm a Libra. We're all about that. So I'm just going to dot these in sporadically, but also making sure that I do put some over here where I want it and need it the most. Now you don't want to add too much foil just because we are going to be adding glitter. Now if you only want the foil, you know, add as much as you can and just do what feels right to you. I'm just kind of telling y'all what to do to get this particular look and everything. Okay. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more over on this side. Actually, I think both of them could use just a tiny bit more. But I'm trying not to get any resin into this bag. Okay, I think this is going to be good. All right. All right, so what you're going to see me do now is take the stir stick and push everything on in here, making sure my foil is in here foiling. I want it kind of randomized in here, outside of the center area. You do want to push a little bit into those sides too, just to make sure it has some ornamentation. Y'all know the drill. We're not trying to leave it all plain and everything. But you do want to be careful not to introduce any bubbles though, so be mindful of that. If it's easier for you to do it with the toothpick, then do it with the toothpick. Okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm really just playing with it, making sure I have it how I like it. I'm wasting time a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and move on because I could always come and play with that a bit more later. Let's see. I do. Oh, crap. I don't know where I done put my magnets, y'all. Let's see if I could find them real quick. Like, I think I know where they at. 1 second. Okay, my bad, y'all. I call myself like organizing my craft room and stuff, but now I can barely remember where stuff is at. So it just makes it so much harder, but it's cool because we brought it back together. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to mark these real time. So I'm taking my magnets here, and I'm just going to pop 2 off and put the others back. And while they're still connected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Sharpie. Boom. Boom. Now, it don't matter if you put the side with the dot down first. Oh, wait. Ah, crap. I do not need this right now. Okay. It don't matter if you put the side with the dot down first or the side without the dot down first. You just have to make sure that both of them are going the same way. So both of them either need to be facing you or both of them need to be facing away from you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop these in with my hand. Do not use the tweezers. They are attracted to the tweezers, just so you know. And I'm going to use the side that has the dot to place face down because I have my foil on here, and that's going to camouflage that black dot so it's not visible. And that's how you make sure that your magnets are on sides that are actually facing each other, so that way you don't have a grinder that is repelling itself. So pro tip. All right, I'm just going to add a little bit of resin there on top to secure that a little bit further. It just makes me feel a little bit better. Okay. It actually won't hurt to go ahead and pour the rest of this in here just to not waste my resin. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the remaining into this larger side that I have here, because I'm not going to have time to pop this into another project or anything. I don't have nothing set up. I wasn't prepared. But see, that's why they say stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I did not stay ready. All right, so yeah, I'm going to keep pushing these back down. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that glitter mix that you can find on my Etsy shop, linked below. I'm going to take this glitter mix and I'm going to get a little bit of it. And I'm going to be mindful of how I'm dispersing it and everything too. And I'm just going to kind of go across it like this. And I'm going to repeat the same thing over here, ski. Okay. And that should definitely be enough glitter. So that's like a full, I wouldn't even say that's a full scoop in total, like maybe a half scoop in total. And I'm going to just kind of swirl this around, this glitter here. You want to force this down into the sides as well, into a couple prongs, but do not introduce any air bubbles. That's really like, you know, what I want y'all to focus on, not introducing the air bubbles while you're manipulating these pieces and these glitters and stuff. And they're kind of stubborn, so sometimes they won't go in there the way you want to. You just gotta play with it, and you gotta play with time too. But as you can see, over time it does start to sink a bit. All right. Okay, so pushy, pushy, push, push, push. Let me see. Hey there. Yes, you are right about that. You are right about that. Holiday season is coming up, so I hope y'all are preparing. You know, holiday season is like the best time for crafters. Everyone loves getting and like receiving handmade gifts for people. It makes them feel special. And that is your job as a crafter, making people feel special. Somewhat. But isn't that what all artists do? Make you feel something? Don't get me to going on a tangent over here. Okay. So the glitter starts to sink a bit more for you over time too. It makes it a lot easier, and you just want to keep pushing it on down to the prongs, because that's going to help create a little bit more dimension as well, so it doesn't seem so flat. It's going to be kind of hard to look flat anyway, because, you know, they're not flat, they're prongs. But having the little glitter specks within them just makes it look so pretty. It just adds something to it. Okay, I think I'm actually going to add just a tiny bit more glitter because I want some more darker pieces of this glitter mix in here. Okay. So let's put a few over here. Oops, accidentally put all of it over there. Okay. Okay. Oh, close my little glove on in there. my gosh, it's so silent. But I told y'all it's hard for me to talk while I'm concentrating. I ain't trying to bore y'all. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, Maisha. Yeah, it's hard for me to keep up with all my things because it's like as my like kind of collection expands, I try to put things with like things, but then I forget where things are, but it be expanding so fast. It's like it's hard to keep up with. I'm just like I'm doing my best, okay? And that's what I got. Mm, okay. What y'all think? Do we think we need anything more over here? Should we add anything else to this layer? Because you know we're going to be working in layers. Well, what made me actually do a grinder today is I have a video coming up. I'm actually going to be posting a short soon. But I have a video showing y'all what I put inside of my smell-proof bag to travel and everything. It has like a little combination lock and everything. It's litty over here. But I need a grinder for the bag. So that's how I got here where I'm at today. I wanted to make a custom grinder for like my new little set and everything. So that's what I'm working on right now. But I'm super excited to show you guys like kind of the steps I'm taking to customize this bag. But the short showing you guys the unboxing, that's coming up like real soon. So you can actually like buy the bag and everything if you're interested and like kind of follow along with the customizations as I do them. And we'll like, you know, I got some cute little stuff coming up. And then also like, you know, I don't know how like the laws and stuff work in every state, but in South Carolina, from, you know, what I've last known to be true, I just want to put this disclaimer out because, you know, I'm not no lawyer, I'm not no police officer. I want to make that real clear for everyone. But in South Carolina, they're not able to like search anything that's locked. So whatever you have that's, you know, locked up is just kind of what it is, since they don't need a warrant to check your car and whatnot. And I'm just gonna let that be what it is. Okay, so I think I'm done playing with this now. I think I'm done. I think I've gotten on here what I want to do. So I'm going to take my alcohol and I'm going to spray 1, 2. And that's just going to pop any surface bubbles, especially since we're working with glitter. And help everything sink down a little bit more as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this step. Now I'm going to be coming back to like kind of finish this up, of course, but like as I'm coming back, I'm going to be thinking about kind of what I'm doing with this, because I don't know exactly where I want to go. I don't know where I want to put my flower and stuff, because I know I do want to put a flower arrangement, but I don't know what side I want to put it on. And just, we gonna figure it out. We're gonna make this like really cute. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this and everything. Make sure you do hit the like button for me, because it really helps out with the algorithm and whatnot. And I'm going to be coming back later today. It probably won't be too long, just because since I'm working with the layers and everything, I don't have to wait for this to be fully cured in order for me to go to the next step. So I'll probably be back in about 3 or 4 hours or so that way we can move on with the process. And yeah, y'all can follow along then. Make sure you are subscribed because, like I said, I am not giving heads up when I am doing these things. Like, these are just kind of happening as I feel like it. So if you want to know what's going on, I would suggest making sure you subscribe and also hitting that notification bell so you don't miss anything I put out for you beauties moving forward. I always do this. I always do my closing before I take off my gloves. And then we're just sitting here watching me take off my gloves. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining. All right. I'm going to catch y'all in a few.